Hello and welcome to race number 3 from Thruxton. I just wanted to give a brief introduction and just to let you know that this is quite a long video, but feel free to skip to the section that interests you the most. I've popped links in the description below so you can jump between the different sections really easily. I'll put my beg and my appeal in now. If you've not done so already, please subscribe to the channel. That really helps me out. Thank you to everybody that has so far and for your support. And also please do give the video a thumbs up, that's always most appreciated. But for now, sit back and enjoy Thruxton. Hello and welcome to Thruxton for race number 3. Today is the Friday of testing and it happens to be my birthday, but I've not had the present I've wanted. The weather is not really playing ball today. At the moment it's really windy, so it's 45-mile-an-hour winds. I think we're going to see flying gazebos across the paddock. So windy, and the likelihood is we're going to get some rain today. And usually it's then a rest day on Saturday and Academy is racing on Sunday. So on Saturday, myself, my wife Anita and daughter Abby, along with Garry and Derek, we're going to go to Beaulieu Motor Museum and have a day out, and then back to the circuit on Sunday for qualifying and race. So that's the format for the weekend. So I'm nervous and excited, kind of as always. I've never driven Thruxton before, but that's fine. I'm getting used to this now. I've done the same prep as I would usually do. So lots of simulator work, done my reading, watched my YouTube videos, and then I use today to familiarise myself with the circuit ahead of qualifying. So we're used to that format now, that's okay. I'm so looking forward to driving Thruxton. I've never been here even to watch the racing, which I know is a terrible thing to say because it is a terrific circuit, the fastest circuit of the year, and I think I'm right in saying the fastest circuit in the UK. If you know otherwise, pop a comment in below, but it's an incredibly quick circuit, 2 major braking zones, and apart from that you are on it for pretty much the rest of the lap. So looking forward to getting out there and trying it. Looks like I've lost my pit team to Dennis. Test session 1 done, and oh my god, what a circuit. That was incredible fun. Look, here's the thing. Throughout the season you'll know that I've been doing the simulator work and watching the YouTube videos, doing my reading before getting to the circuit. And the thing is, again, it worked at Oldland Park, it worked at Cadwell, and now it's worked at Thruxton. I am up onto a decent representative time. Within 2 laps, I'm on that time. So if you want to take a top tip and save a lot of money and time, the Assetto Corsa on the PC has really worked for me. Anyway, 1:38 was the best time. I'll have a look in a minute to see what the ideal time and the best sectors put together. My target time was 1:35 by the end of the day. So that fills me with absolute confidence I can find 3 seconds. This session ended up being dry. The setup for the car, I had the wet roll bar on, the orange roll bar, and it showed. I was wallowing all over the place. So that would have certainly not helped. It didn't inspire confidence in the car. I was 4-wheel drifting all over the place. Loads of fun, but not quick. So session 1 done. Overall, I am delighted, and OMG, Thruxton, I can see why this is one of the best, fastest circuits in the UK. If you've not driven it, give it a go. Here are Garry and Derek. I've gone for a roll bar change. I've done the first session with a soft bar. The car really was wallowing all over the place. Partly that, partly tyre pressures. 50-50 chance of rain. Lesser of 2 evils. It's going to be to move to the stiffer red bar. So this takes about 10 minutes to do. This is my paddock mate for the day. This is Steve. Have a good session, Steve. Have a good one. Here's my other paddock mate for the weekend, is Mika. Lovely guy, you'll have seen him on the vlog before. Mika had to come in together on the, I think it's the 2nd lap at Cadwell. But there's the car, all back in one piece. Mika all good. Brave person going up in their aeroplane. Really windy. about 20 minutes to my next session. The other Academy group are out testing right now. It's looking like it's going to be a dry session. So this morning you heard me say rain was almost certain. In the first session there was a few spots came down during the session, but not enough to cause the track to go slippy or anything like that. But this looks like it could be a fully dry session. What I've done is put the red stiffer roll bar on. Let's see if that makes any difference. If I can find another couple of seconds, you know, if I can do a 136 something, yeah, I'll be really happy with that for the next session. So that's the aim. Let's see how we go. Session number 2 done. Once the tyres come up to temperature, actually the roll bar really started to work, so it's much better in that session. I missed out on my 136 by a 1,000th of a second, 137.01. I'm going to have a look to see what my ideal time was. I'm sure it'd be significantly better than that and into the 136s for sure, so that's kind of okay. Some good racing going on. At times we're keeping up with some of the road sport people as well, so we're mixing it up with them, really good. And at one point myself and Colin Gould had a bit of a battle to and fro, and I pulled a move on Colin which really, it wasn't fair. It's an invalid move into the complex. So again, Colin, I'm sorry, it was a poor move on my part. Thank you for anticipating it and getting out of my way, saving us both an expensive end to the session. So honestly, my thanks there, and a lesson learned, I guess. So I didn't have the GoPro camera filming in the main race. I thought it'd be nice to show you a flying lap of Thruxton from my GoPro. Not the quickest lap in the world, but you get to see this really exciting, fast and flowing track. As we pass the start finish straight, I'm behind James Hall in his rather distinctive zebra style livery. First corner, you turn in slightly late for the apex at Allard, and then it's flat out into 4th gear as you approach the Campbell Cobb Seagrave complex. You need to pick a careful line through here because the exit is the most important thing, as once you exit Seagrave you're on full power all the way round to the club chicane. Ease the car into Noble, bringing the car 2/3 of the way back across the track as you turn in for the village. Full power now as we head in towards Church, which is taken flat out. And now it's power all the way down Brooklands and down Woodham Hill. And then into the heaviest braking zone on the circuit, the club chicane. This is a 3rd gear corner. Again, it's important to get the exit so you're back on full power. Across the start finish straight, there's a lap of Thruxton. There we go, it's the final session of the day done. The rain held off, and only just, it was raining in some areas of the circuit. The circuit is so big, there was a little bit of rain, but not enough to make the track slidey at all. Hit my target times. 136 lap time, 135 ideals. The last session, I think my tyres had really just gone off that little bit. There was a few areas of the track, the really quick corners, where I got no grip at all. And Garry might have the reason why. We're just putting 4 new tyres on What's the technical term for that then, Gary?
Flat.
Flat spot. I'll show you on the video. There's the break-in point into the complex can cause flat spots to occur. There's a new set of tyres Derek's got there. What we're doing right now is we've got the car and axle stands and we're changing all 4 tyres. We're going to pop over to Avon Tyres, who have a massive facility here, tyre changing facility, and we're going to get the 4 tyres put onto the rims ready for qualifying and race on Sunday. There are a set of tyres that I've done one track day on. I've done the Bedford track day to scrub them in, so they're going to be just perfect for quali and for the race on Sunday. This is the Caterham garage facility, so any damage, any running repairs during the race weekend, Caterham are there to support. Throughout testing and the race weekend, Avon put on a huge motorsport marquee, Avon Tyres motorsport marquee. You can buy tyres, and today what's happening is they're going to fit the tyres that I'd previously purchased onto the rims, and there's no charge for that because they're purchased through Avon. Here's a Renault Alpine. Do you know the connection with Caterham? So the Renault Alpine was a project developed to a certain point in conjunction with Caterham, and they got to a certain point in development and decided to go kind of their own ways. The end result, however, is a car I would love to own. Don't see a huge amount of these. As Academy wasn't racing on Saturday, we travelled down to Beaulieu Motor Museum in the New Forest. If you've not visited the New Forest before, you might be amazed to see horses, donkeys and cows just roaming around the sides of the roads and even on the roads. So here we are, it's a happy day out.
Right then.
Pete, this is the side of it you don't see, the glamour of the pits.
Thanks, Ben.
Don't worry, I'll have them back in time for their tablets.
Wherever it was.
Yeah, that was funny.
Right, coffee shop to the left.
Does anybody fancy a coffee?
No, I don't want one.
So we've just arrived at Beaulieu Motor Museum, and first of all we're going to go and see the cars of Top Gear. How about this one? This is the one they literally shot up like the space shuttle. Didn't go so well from what I can remember. That's mega. Oh, the caravan from the airship.
Oh yeah.
James May had this on the bottom of an airship, if I remember rightly. Flew this one. And then you must remember this effort. They built a snowplow, took it somewhere abroad, and Jeremy was on the back with a flamethrower.
To Norway.
Norway. It's huge. Jeremy Clarkson was up on the back there with his flamethrower.
So, Rob,
Yeah.
the seat was taken from the Cosworth Sierra
Right.
that they used in the German challenge.
Oh, right. And they strapped it on the back of there. Yeah. The world of Top Gear. So the exhibition continues inside. This is one of my favourite Top Gear cars, the indestructible Toyota Hilux, and this was in the studio for many, many years after. I think it was washed out at sea at Burnham-on-Sea from memory, and with the minimum of maintenance after, they was able to get it restarted. And then here's the lap time board, and straight in with another Caterham reference, Sir Chris Hoy there, 420 competitor at the top of the list. This is one of our favourite episodes.
Oh, the boats.
Yeah.
When they tried to cross the channel, and they did cross the channel in Jeremy's. James May, as you'll recall, made his sailing version of a Triumph Herald, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah. And then the toy boater, I think it was called. And then Hammond turns up in this. Oh, the Vietnam challenge. After watching that episode, I wanted to go to Vietnam, or I would like to go to Vietnam. Jeremy's mobility scooter. I think it's Richard Hammond that turned up with the tracked one, if I remember rightly. I believe that's a TVR chassis on this, Derek. Yeah, that's definitely a TVR chassis. This was their electric car attempt, and if you recall, Hammond couldn't fit, so they made him an extra bit on the top. This was from the episode where Jeremy ended up coming in a 3-story. Okay, so this is amazing. This is from another one of our favourite episodes, and it's where Jeremy ends up building his high-speed train. And do you remember the guys from the rail kind of regulators and whatever? They were in the back of here getting wind blasted. We have a boat. Looks like a SsangYong. It is a SsangYong. Made into a yacht.
No, I don't see it. Hey, look. Look at the light.
Ah, mega. Stig outfit. Jeremy Clarkson made this one and drove Chris Moyles to the Brit Awards. What's it like? Luxurious? Practical? Okay. It's so long. Chance to drive the Top Gear track. Anglia from Harry Potter. Gary's in love with this Jaguar. Thing with Beaulieu as well is they will bring the exhibits out and run them. Join us for a quick tour of the Beaulieu Motor Museum. So we've got a little tie-in here between this car and the Thruxton race circuit. Do you know what it is? Now, I've just learnt this is a Allard, and the first corner at Thruxton is called Allard. A little nod to the Ace Cafe there. Fabulous meet-up venue, the Ace Cafe, on the North London Circular. Car driven by Damon Hill, 1996 when he won the World Championship. Roman Grosjean's 2012 Formula One car. Here you go then, chitty chitty bang bang. Porsche 917, really important car to Derek. Derek's own Caterham car is based on the livery of exactly one of these. These are the land speed record cars. People have absolutely lost their lives doing this. Difficult to get this car in shot all in one go. Donald Campbell's Bluebird.
lots of bricks and sand and no kids.
Yeah, Dennis and Rebecca, one for you. And Mark 1 Landy. What have we got? We've got some more Top Gear scrap that we've just found. This is the one Freddie Flintoff was in, doing a bungee jump off of a bridge. There's the release mechanism. So these aren't part of the official display, these are just around the back. And it's, there you go, yeah, you can see the big harness in here. Beautifully kept grounds at Beaulieu. The monorail's not running today, but the monorail would usually run right the way through the grounds and then through the building. Good morning from Thruxton, and today is race day. The white group are in qualifying at the moment, and I'm out in about 3/4 of an hour's time. The weather is 50-50. We're dry at the moment, it's been dry all morning, there's certainly rain clouds, and it literally is a 50-50% chance of rain. What I've learnt from my first 2 races is just suck it up, wait and see. What I know is when I'm in the car, I'll do the best I can and deal with it at a time, so why worry? And that is the strategy for today. What's great about Thruxton, based in the south, is more local for me and also for my friends and family. So we have a load of supporters along, thanks to Kent Sevens who have blatted down here this morning in their cars to come and watch. Unfortunately, due to restrictions, we are kind of penned into the paddock and they're kept in the general admission side. So we're unable to get to see each other, but thank you so much for making that journey down here, and I hope you have a brilliant day. I'd love to give you a terrific result. I'll do my very best, guys, but have a great day regardless. Also, friends and family have come down. My cousin and family have travelled down from Bristol, so thanks Dave and family. Thanks for coming down, and equally I hope you have a terrific day. My strategy for qualifying, of course, I've got to get those 3 banker laps in. I guess depending on what the conditions are like, but let's assume it's dry condition, we get the 3 laps in, and then I need to get myself as best as I can into a position where I'm going to pick up the toe of the car in front. So for those of you that know, Caterhams are about as aerodynamic as a house brick. Being behind a car can give you a huge advantage of speed, up to 10 miles an hour here at Thruxton. Sometimes you might have 2 or 3 cars in front of you and you can be as much as 10 miles an hour quicker on those straights. So what I'm going to look to do is see if I can get myself into a position to pick up that slipstream without hampering my lap time. And for me, that's going to take more luck than judgment, but that's kind of what's in the back of the mind, that's what's in the game plan. Ultimately, even in the race, it's a bit of a lottery anyway. Because of the slipstream, you can make up serious places, you can lose serious places, just depending on where you are in that pack at that time. But that's what's in the head at the moment, that's the game plan, and let's see how we get going. My wife and my girl have travelled down in my matching smart car. Now's a great opportunity for me to say thank you to my sponsor, SOAR Electric Karting. Now, SOAR Electric Karting was due to open back earlier in the year, a terrific new entertainment facility in Gillingham in Kent. This was delayed due to all of the circumstances were more than familiar. However, they will be open mid-September before my next race at Brands Hatch. So SOAR Electric Karting, I want to thank you for all of the help and support you've given me. and I wish you all the very best with your new venture in Gillingham. It's going to be a terrific thing, not just for the Medway towns, but this venue is going to bring people in from the southeast and beyond. And I look forward to sharing more on this channel, and I really look forward to having a race on your circuit really soon. Wow, there we go, qualifying done, and oh my god, that was epic. As we got into the assembly area, it started to spit with rain, and then it started to rain. I decided I was going to get out now and get straight on it, and that I did. So much so, I took a car and then I ended up narrowing my entrance into the really quick church. Stupidly, I just lifted, and the weight shift was enough to have the back of the car sending me into a spin, but that was fine. Back on it, and at the end of the next lap, I was second in the running. The rain then started to ease, and the track really became quite dry, slippy in the chicane complex, but a lot drier. And I've qualified 12th, so my best ever qualification. I'm thrilled, absolutely thrilled to bits with 12th. I was targeting 15 or better, so 12th is good for me. As for the strategy this afternoon, I'm going to have a little think, have a little consider who's around me. You know who to take on, and you know who to give the space. And the thing is, with Thruxton, you know that there is going to be opportunity to overtake them at some point on that lap. So it's not the be all and end all of getting in front. In fact, it can even work to your disadvantage because of the size of that toe. If you get ahead of them early in the lap, the chances are by the end of the lap they could be back in front of you. It's a 100-mile-an-hour game of chess, and that's Thruxton. Loving it.
Oh my god, carry on.
It's weird because then it just all happens at once.
What, is this the race?
Yeah.
I thought they all lined up on the call.
Oh yeah. So they're going to do that,
Yeah.
and then they will.
Here it goes. Woo!
It's lights out, and I made a good start, but not my best start. I picked up a little bit too much wheel spin, taking too much time to get proper traction, but holding my station and in through and round the first corner at Allards, finding myself a nice bit of room to slot in. Down into third gear and going 2 or even 3 cars side by side through the first part of the complex. These early stages, it's important to get through those corners. Of course you want to be in front, but as we know, the size of the toe will allow us to get back in front of cars down the straight if we need to. And as they say, to finish first, you first need to finish. Now I'm starting to think about, can I get in the toe of Ron in front of me? Am I going to get through? Is there enough room going into church? Bear in mind the spin I had earlier in the day. But I see a gap and decide to carry on and move my way on through at church. Ron there, great driver, respecting and giving enough room for each other. We both make it through side by side. So we're down through the start finish straight for the first time. You can see I've got a fair gap now in front of me. I'm certainly at the benefit of the toe to the car in front, so really having to work hard to try and close that gap, being mindful that I've got Ron breathing down my neck and will be benefiting from the toe of my car. Making sure I'm fully on the power coming out of the complex to try to drop Ron from behind me and break that toe effect. As we come into church, I'm still too far away to benefit from any tow at all along this straight. Can I get through church fast enough to make ground and benefit from the tow in front? Because of the size of the tow, you really do start to pick it up from quite early on. Ron there behind me, definitely in my tow. But I think I'm going to do enough as we come into the braking zone for the chicane to stay in front. Now we're through to the end of lap 2, and you can already see my best lap time is 1:35, which was quicker than we managed to achieve earlier in qualifying due to the great track conditions. Making sure not to outbrake myself into the complex, finding a nice tidy line through the second part of the complex, and that allows me to move out to the left and to get on full power as I exit. For now I've dropped Ron for behind me, but I've got an absolute age to the person in front of me. I'm in no man's land. To make progress, you really do need to benefit from those cars in front of you, and this far back it's just giving me no benefit at all. What I'm thinking is, as cars start to fight for a position between themselves, this can actually lose some time. So I'm looking to keep my driving clean and hoping that them fighting between themselves will allow me to close the gap. Through the chicane at the end of lap 3. And cross the start line, and we've improved the lap times again now into the 1:34s. Just think how quick I could be going with a tow. Approaching the chicane that time, perhaps a little bit too hot in, but okay, not too bad at all. Managed to gather it back, get a nice line. Slightly compromised on the exit, not using as much track as I would have liked to. Looking in the mirrors though, Ron doesn't seem to have been able to close up on me there. Everything okay for now. It's these sort of stages of the race that you really do need to maintain focus. When somebody's right in front of you, you've got that adrenaline to look to close and attack. What I've learned from the past, particularly from Oldland Park, is you just need to keep ploughing on, keep putting in your best possible lap times. Don't lose that focus. If you back off just 1/10, that car behind is going to be on you before you know it. Braking into the chicane at the end of the 4th lap, and I see that James Hall has spun. No problem, plenty of time to manoeuvre around him and back on it. Nice tidal line through the first part of the complex. Allows me to get a good drive angle, although there was still lots of room on the outside. Perhaps I could have got on that power just that little bit earlier. See the cars now starting to really pick my toe up as we move into church. So as you can see, I'm turning into this right-hander, 106 miles an hour, flat on the power. the dip in the speed is just due to the steering angle going in and scrubbing some of that speed off. My foot is planted to the floor. After Cadwell Park, 5th gear in reverse failed on me, so I've only got 4th gear to lean on. Colin Gould there making a good move, caught my toe and moving round as we approach the braking zone for the club chicane. I've now picked up Colin's toe, much quicker here through Allards. Colin moves across and closes the door. I did pick up with Colin about this after, he simply just didn't see me. So there we go, perhaps that's payback for yesterday. Colin and I saved us an expensive end to the race day today. Now I'm right in the mix. I've got the car in front of me, so I'm picking up the toe of Colin. I've got Ron behind and I can see he's making some serious ground on me. I'm going to move over to the right. If he's going to brake, he's going to have to go all the way around the left hand side, making sure I don't run into the back of Colin in front of me. Gather it together, time that one just about right. Back on the power, and that's the end of lap 6. Bearing in mind the mistake I made in testing, I'm not going to chance going up the inside of Colin here. It looks like Ron's making up ground on me. Keep your eye on the rear view mirror. Ron's gone in too hot, too quick, and when you apply the brakes that heavy, the back wheels go so light the car is just going to spin. Tough luck, Ron, that was a great race to that point, mate. Colin's working really hard there, and you can see he is building out a gap, enough that he's dropping from his toe. However, on that big drag down to the club chicane, even from that distance you can start to make that little bit of extra speed. Worth holding that line and following his wheel tracks. That's the end of lap 7. Coming into the complex, I've gone in a little bit hot, a little bit untidy there. Starting to perhaps just overcook it a little bit. I want to stay with Colin. Just looking at the speeds there, 100 miles an hour through the corners, foot planted down. The idea is to unwind that steering as quickly as you can, get those front wheels straight. If they're even slightly turned like I've got here, it's going to be scrubbing speed. 108 miles an hour as we turn in for church. much too early on the change down and braking into the chicane. I could have taken advantage there and closed the gap to Colin. I'm keeping my eye on the pit wall. I've got someone signaling to me what position I am. I'm now running in position 10. Again, overcooked it a little as I go into the complex. Possibility is my tyres might be getting a little bit too hot, putting the tyre pressures at just a touch too high and start to lose some of that important grip. Colin has taken full advantage and he has properly dropped me from his slipstream. The yellow flags are out, and as I round church I can see that James Griffiths is over on the left hand side stranded. This was enough to bring the safety car round. As the car was on the left hand side of the circuit, it was in a vulnerable position and left the marshals no option but to bring the safety car out to recover the car and James. Back underway into the safety car, not the best restart for me. Colin has dropped me immediately, however I have dropped the cars behind me. You'll see that the timer has ticked down to 0, which literally gave us a 1 lap sprint to the finish. Now the likelihood is with a single lap sprint there's going to be some sort of incident somewhere on the track. Everybody's got the same idea in mind. It is now just a 2-mile race to the checkered flag. I can see that Colin and Mika have just exchanged places. I've now picked up the tail of Mika and Colin. As I move into church, I'm gaining some serious ground on Mika. He's running right there slightly. As I move out, I can start to see that there's been some sort of incident in front of me. This turned out to be Chris had a coming together with Tom, and Gwyn had to move to avoid the accident. So as I cross the line, I finish in 8th place. That's my best result so far.
Oh, Dad will be next.
Isn't this just great to see? There's Tom Cockrell. Well done, Tom. That's his 2nd race win, and it's just lovely to see Dennis there finishing 2nd and Toby Boys finishing 3rd. Alright, so first of all, I watched the white group go out, and they had a really tough race. Everybody okay, quite a lot of damage with the cars, and after a restart they had to abandon the race after a couple of laps, and they're going to race again later. So that was quite a tough watch, and then we had to get ready and go and race ourselves. I'd like to say a massive thank you to all of the people that come to support me this weekend. It really means a lot. I'm relieved that you got to see a full race and got to see the car brought home in 8th spot and my best result so far. So delighted. Thanks everybody.
Come on, Robo, drive your car. Come on, Robo, be a star. Come on, Robo, drive your car. And we love you. I don't.